Hey, what's up? I'm Ryan J. Downey, Senior Editor for Alternative Press, and I am here, and this is insane, the AP 30th Anniversary exhibit at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You also have something to do with Alternative Press, right?
I just basically I take the garbage out and recycling. I'm really good with recycling.
You know, metaphorically, I would say that you do both take the garbage out and recycle. It's basically your gig. Well, who are you and what would you say you do here?
My name's Jason Pettigrew and I'm a janitor at Alternative Press magazine.
What's it feel like to be here 30 years, literally in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
This is really crazy. I mean, we never thought we'd be in here, ever. And especially when we first started, we were just fancy. The Rock Hall wasn't even around. So it's another 10 years before they came around. And it was just, it's been a really crazy experience digging up the old archives and the old pieces and parts of what made AP start. Everybody's kind of got a lot of fond memories now. That's great.
We all call that AP. AP, and this is like 90, 89, 90. Mike said, I want you to redesign a cover. Just bring me back, go back to school, bring me back a cover that you would do. And I literally hand cut the lettering and the logo because I never used a computer yet. It's crazy. But I hand cut and redid a logo with a photo that my friend took of us just looking like a band. And the AP was up in the corner, and the Alternative Press rendered around it. And then after that I presented and he's like, okay, you got the job.
The whole thing is that it was an inclusive clubhouse. Alternative Press essentially, at its best, is essentially a mixtape.
AP's always had the spirit of community, and I think we've still continued to maintain it because, the fans tell us what to cover and what the scenes are, and we serve the fans just like the bands.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that's what keeps us real, it keeps it genuine, I think the trick is to always listen to the fans. The fans are our readers, our website visitors, whatever. They're our fans, and you have to listen to them. And I think that it's kind of like the point. It's like sooner or later, the fans also kind of tell you when you got to move on from something. Why you're not covering my favorite band. Why do you keep covering that band from 4 years ago? And so you got to listen to them.
And we always said one of my favorite mission statements was AP is the older brothers and sisters to its younger fans. I mean, we don't write off. We don't write that off.
I always tell people hey, you don't have to understand Pierce the Veil, but I know if you're the right kind of person, you understand that intention and that authenticity behind what they're doing, and you understand the way that people are devoted to it. Because for you were devoted like that to Marilyn Manson, or you were devoted like that to 77 Punk, or the Ramones were that for you. You know what that devotion is. And that's all you need to understand about the bands that we cover today.
And that's the whole thing. And people always say that from being in a role at a magazine that long. They're like, how do art directors turn every 2 years? It's like, you just don't pretend to know it all. You just listen more.
When your bands come up to you and they're like, oh yeah, I've been reading it for 10 or whatever years, and you guys influenced us, and et cetera, et cetera. I mean, you just don't, that's where it kind of hits you.
What's your favorite thing in here?
There's so many things in here that are very, very cool for all different types of reasons. But I probably would say I really like and you'll get this the letterpress stuff. On all that, that's good old school fanciness right there. So I always love that look.
That's my first cover story that you assigned to me. This is the first cover
TBC.
right there when you walk in.
Yeah, that's right.
And that is a weird moment of I should probably tell my dad that I'm kind of sort of in the Hall of Fame.
You should, go right ahead.
Yeah. This guy is, I've been very lucky to have a couple of mentors in my life, and this guy is one of the three.
I'm laughing because you've done a lot of stuff, and I don't know. It's interesting. You've done a lot of stuff, and you've certainly been in many different communities and in certain circles of communities. But it's interesting that it'd be interesting to be considered in that context. So thanks, because I really don't think about that. I really don't think about that stuff. And when somebody gives me one of those, a genuine compliment like that, I usually turn into a huge pinhead about it. But thank you. But I appreciate it.
All right, that does it for us here at the opening of the AP30 exhibit here at the Rock Hall. If you live in Cleveland, if you'll be in Cleveland soon, come and check out all that stuff. Just walking around and looking at all of it, it definitely gives you, one of these guys. So always come back to altpress.com, to our YouTube channel, APTV, and check out all the stuff we're doing, because we're going to do it for at least another 30.